Hi, the unemployment crisis today is a grave picture, worse than ever before. We have seen governments toppling on the issue of unemployment and livelihood, especially when it is about underprivileged youth and entry level jobs. The situation in India is quite bad, with growth happening without employment generation. The rich are becoming richer, the poor poorer. Recent figures of unemployment are alarming. In a country which has a majority of the population who are youth, to see that more than 92.4% are without formal jobs is extremely worrying. Recent figures of unemployment which has come out, 55.75% of graduates and youth with higher education are unemployed. 14 million youth are passing out of colleges every year. When we hear great business leaders and important people at the top who influence the economy claim that only 20% of our youth are actually employable, it makes us wonder, where is it that we have to put in our effort? Where is work to be done really? Let me start by giving you a question. After telling you a little story, comparing the backgrounds of two people. There is a city bred boy who is good in communication, good in English, and a village bred boy who is actually speaks better in his mother tongue, not that much of English. But the village bred boy is extremely good in his domain knowledge. Both of them go for the interview in a big company. The interviewer obviously is asking varied questions, including the domain knowledge. Who do you think actually got the job? Obviously, it is the city bred boy. This entire episode, just think about it. For an HR of a company, this is no surprise. But for me, the important question was, why does the village boy not get equal opportunity like the city bred boy? The question did not allow me to sleep, and I wanted to see how I can bridge this gap and ensure that the village boy stood second to none. I found the social and economic integration of the youth, especially from the underprivileged background, has always been a big challenge. Added to this, the pandemic has only made the impact more severe. The impact has been systematic, deep, and disproportionate. It is not business as usual. I'm definitely not here to scare you. I'm just here to share with you my journey, what I learned from it, and how I feel this learning could help a lot of youth across India be gainfully employed, thus changing many lives associated with them. I'm here to share my 18 years of experience of working with over 50,000 youth across the length and breadth of India in the age group of 18 to 25 who belong to the most vulnerable sections of society. including juvenile delinquents, ex-convicts, sex workers, Kashmiri youth, and youth who have not seen the shelter of a school. My work through Unnati has successfully provided these youth with jobs, incorporate with social securities in the shortest period of time. Today, it is 35 days of training. This miracle has happened time and again because of three specific interventions, which has led to employment and empowering of the underprivileged youth of India. I have found many youth unable to express themselves, express what is in their mind due to lack of confidence, lack of adequate writing skills, low self-esteem, lack of basic communication skills. All of which, according to me, are things that can be easily set right with a small and quick intervention to just get them going, move them to a different level as far as communication goes. The youth have to be given this power. Youth must be exposed to the English language. We generally find youth extremely apprehensive when it comes to speaking English, as they fear being laughed at and also about their own inadequacy. This in turn results in low self-esteem, confidence, and an inferiority complex, which results in failure to secure a job. A simple intervention not only equips them with over 800 words in English to help them better communicate, but also makes them realize that they have achieved what they always thought was impossible. This gives them a fresh lease of energy and confidence to face the world. This, in my opinion, is true empowerment. A Harvard KPMG study talked about 78% weightage is given to communication and soft skills, and only 22% for domain knowledge. Attitude is built through understanding of situations and the response to these situations. No one understands the difference between reaction and response. To be able to respond is an outcome of soft skills training. People appreciate response, but have never attributed it to soft skills training. Our country is so obsessed with degrees and certificates, but seldom understand the power of soft skills training and the impact it has gone on attitude. I am of the opinion that it is not enough if you have a proper attitude. It has to be backed with a strong value system. Recently, I was hearing an interview of Mrs. Sudhamurthy by Mrs. Twinkle Khanna. Mrs. Twinkle Khanna asked Sudhaji, "What is that which your mother has added in the sambar, which she gave you all, which made your entire family so successful?" The answer by Sudhaji was a strong value system. It is sad that our education system is not including values through our curriculum. We have to talk to the youth about aspects of honesty, responsibility, caring, sharing, punctuality, patriotism, and through this build their attitude. Let me give you a small example of how in a simple topic of life skills, optimum utilization of resources, values can be integrated and made the youth not just realize the importance, but actually make them act instantaneously. The lesson is a plate of rice. The discussion is about a plate of rice. Normally, this takes quite a long period of time, an hour or so. And because of paucity of time, I will do it in few minutes. Ask anyone what do they eat for lunch or so. The answer could be a plate of rice. Then we ask them, what do you think is the cost of this plate of rice? Normally, the answer would come out as rupees 50, 60, whatever it may be. On further prodding and asking them, how do you think this plate of rice actually landed on your table? Slowly they start thinking, start inadvertently tracing the entire journey of the grain of rice, right from tilling of the land, farmer sowing the seed, reaping, harvesting, transporting, packing, distribution, etc. The enormity of the entire journey starts dawning in their heads. And all of a sudden, they begin to realize that there are so many thousands of people who have put their sweat and blood for them to get their food. We again ask them to tell us, what do you think is the price of that plate of rice at the end of this? You'll be surprised to hear that everyone says that you cannot put a price to that plate of rice. It is invaluable. The impact of this is, one, they will never waste food. The long-term impact of this discussion is that they start realizing that they cannot waste any resource, whether it is in their house, office, or anywhere they go, irrespective of the cost of the product. When knowledge and values are combined, what you get to see is transformation in thought and action. There is a beautiful affirmation which has always caught my attention and remained with me. It goes like this: I am smart because I learn something new every day. In today's world, this affirmation wears a new perspective. Youth need to constantly keep evolving, learning, relearning, unlearning, and upskilling on a daily basis. They cannot imagine joining a company and retiring. That's something of the past. Today the mantra is Mata, Pita, Google, Devam. It is important to make youth understand the power of internet. Short-term courses to equip them has become the need of the hour. To be able to do this, we have to initiate them into a system of self-learning. This is going to be critical for their life and career. The youth must ask themselves every day, what new they have learned that day. Lifelong learning is not to be looked at as an activity. It is about living it out daily. If you are able to inculcate this habit into a youth, we can pat our backs and truly believe that we have empowered them. My inspiration comes from stories and triumphs. One such example is the midday meal scheme. I've always marveled at the effectiveness that the midday meal scheme was able to deliver. The midday meal scheme was actually designed to provide nutrition for school children. But for me, the impact it created was much larger. It helped enrolling children in school, nourish school children, eliminate absenteeism, and allowed the parents to be rest assured that their child will be well fed while they are at work. Started in the early 60s, now a nationwide program. It is a simple yet remarkable intervention for behavioral reform. A small behavioral nudge which changed the landscape of learning in India. The three interventions that I spoke of, communication, soft skills and values, and lifelong learning, are three simple yet powerful nudges that can change the landscape of employability in this country. This forever will remain my North Star. The effort now is to scale it, make it sustainable, and forever transform lives of underprivileged youth and the economic status of our country. Thank you and have a fantastic day.